Are you tired of rangefinders that just don't work when you need them to? Well, after testing dozens for this year, I narrowed it down to the 10 that truly deliver on accuracy, speed, and value. In this video, I'm going to show you which rangefinders actually are worth your money. So no matter what your skill or budget is, I have it on this list. So let's do this. Starting things off, we're going with the big dog. It's the Bushnell Pro X3 Link, and this comes in about $600. Look, I'm turned off as you are by marketing hype that makes you think a rangefinder is actually going to save mankind. But putting aside the hyperbole, there's no denying that the Bushnell Pro X3 Link is cool as hell. This is Bushnell's flexing everything they know about laser tech and then taking it a step further. Now the Pro X3 Link takes the already elite Pro X3 and adds a launch monitor integration. So if you own a Bushnell or a Foresight unit, you can sync your shot data and actually get club recommendations right in the viewfinder. That's real swing data, real-time suggestions, and actually it's kind of insane. But that's not even the main reason most people buy this thing. What really sets the Pro X3 Link apart is how complete it feels. Slope adjusted distances, yes, but now also wind direction and intensity, barometric pressure, temperature. It even calibrates slope based on your home course's elevation. Now visually, it's about as good as it gets. The 7x magnification is super crisp, and of course, you got the classic Bushnell bite magnet that you can put it right onto your cart. Look, this thing's expensive, but at $599, it's a rangefinder that is super sweet. All right, next up is the SL3 active hybrid GPS laser rangefinder from Caddie, which combines both cutting edge laser rangefinder and GPS functionality. So it kind of gives you a powerful tool to really actually help your game. At its core, the SL3 boasts a lightning fast laser that measures distances to just 0.1 seconds. I don't even know how fast that is, it's like super fast. Now, it does come in a 6x magnification that helps you zero in on targets with precision, but what sets the rangefinder really apart is its hybrid nature. It doesn't just rely on laser technology. Now, the SL3 combines laser accuracy and GPS smarts to give you the most accurate measuring tool for your game. But let's start off with the laser, which is just crazy fast. I mean, 0.1 seconds, that's kind of faster than you can blink. But what makes this rangefinder so special is that it's just the laser tech. It also features a full color, you heard me correctly, full color touchscreen GPS on the unit that displays everything you want to know about the course. Now, I've never seen a rangefinder have this. You're going to see detailed hole layouts, get distances to the front, middle, and back of the green, and can even check out elevation changes. But what's really cool is the GPS actually helps the laser work better because it helps filter out the trees and all the other stuff in the background. So you're going to get a very clean reading to the pin. Now, when you're using the GPS, you actually have 4 main screens. You have a course view that gives you the bird's eye look to each hole. It's perfect for like your shot planning. It has a green view that shows a heat map, which is basically a color-coded map that tells you where the slopes and breaks are. And the putt view is actually pretty cool because you can mark where your ball is and where the pin sits, and then it'll tell you exact distances, so whether you're putting it uphill or downhill. I mean, this thing's legit. Now, ultimately, the yardage view is what keeps things this simple with just the basic green distances. Now, Caddie has mapped out over 15,000 courses worldwide, so chances are your home course is already preloaded. Now, the device knows which hole you're on automatically, so there's no like button pressing and trying to figure out like, why can't I get the right reading? Now, you can even tell it how far your tip will drive the ball, and it'll show an arc on each hole, marking where your landing zone usually is. Dude, on a rangefinder? This is nuts. Now, this is super handy for club selection when you're on the tee. But let's talk about how this thing actually feels in your hands. Now, they've used premium materials like polished metal and leather accents, so it doesn't feel cheap or plasticky. Even when all the GPS tech packed in, it's still compact enough to fit comfortably in your hand, and you're not gonna worry about dropping it. And if you play in a tournament, the SL3 does have both slope adjusted and tournament legal modes, so you're not gonna worry about getting in trouble. And the battery life is not gonna let you down. You're gonna get 45 hours of just laser or 20 hours with the GPS turned down. That's enough for several rounds of golf before you're gonna need to recharge it. Plus, Caddie regularly releases software updates to keep your device running smooth, and it doesn't cost you extra money. But here's the deal. The SL3 sits at the premium end of the price scale, so you're paying for a top tier technology here. However, if you want the most comprehensive distance and course information available in one device, this rangefinder delivers, and I think this thing is like super, super cool. Next up on my list is the Precision Pro Titan Elite. Now this comes in about $400. If you ever want a rangefinder that just nails the basics and layers in just the right amount of tech without the price getting kind of out of control, then this is the one to get. There is no doubt the Titan Elite is the best Precision Pro product ever made. Full stop. It takes the accuracy and simplicity golfers loved about their NX10 line and fixes the clunkier parts of the older R1 GPS models, and then it fuses them together into something that just works perfectly. But here's the coolest feature. When you pair it with your Precision Pro app, the rangefinder displays GPS yardages for the front and back of the green right inside the viewfinder. This combo turns every shot into a 3-number decision. So if you like information, this one's got you covered with all the essentials without having to go too far with information overload. Now, even without the GPS turned on, this thing is pretty solid. It's waterproof, it's dustproof, and this thing is built like a tank. And the optics are crisp, it has a vibrant feedback, and it's instant. Everything about it feels smooth in your hands. But it's not perfect. You're only gonna get 6x magnification versus the 7x when it's something like the Pro X3 Link. There's no red or black dual display, and it's not Android compatible. But if you're an iPhone user who doesn't mind those trade-offs, the value at $400 is pretty tough to beat. For my next pick, I'm going back to Bushnell and with the A1 Slope. Now this comes in about $300. Now for a brand that's dominated the laser rangefinder game for as long as Bushnell has, the A1 Slope feels like a bit of a curveball, but in a good way. It's smaller, it's more affordable, and for the first time in Bushnell history, it ditches the disposable batteries in favor of a built-in USB-C rechargeable one. Finally. And in slope-adjusted magnetic yardages and a magnetic cart mount, so you got what is a compact, no-frills rangefinder that carries the build quality and reliability of a Bushnell. The optics are sharp, as you would expect. You get 6x magnification, a bright and clear display, and Bushnell's signature jolt feedback to confirm your pin lock. Now what you don't get is an OLED screen or a red and dual black optics, but it's clean and it's fast and it's dependable. Where the A1 Slope really starts to stand out is in its simplicity. You're not buying this thing for tech bells and whistles. There's no GPS viewfinder integration, there's no weather or element adjusted. But what you are getting is slope accuracy from the most trusted name in the game and a body that actually is pocket friendly. Now the compact form factor alone is great for walking golfers or players who just prefer something a little less bulky. And it even comes with a removable rubber sleeve that adds grip and houses to the bite magnet. But you can strip it down for a slimmer, lighter feel. At $299, it's kind of priced right in the middle of some intense competition. But it's a smart entry into the compact rangefinder space from a brand that we all trust. And for a lot of golfers, that's exactly what they're looking for. All right, my next pick has to be the Garmin Approach Z30, coming in at $350. Why? Because I think it delivers a lot of relative to its price. Now the Z30 doesn't just go toe-to-toe with other mid-price rangefinders. It makes a legitimate case for being the best buy in that muddy middle category, especially if you're already wearing a Garmin golf watch. Now, at $400, the Z30 checks all the standard boxes. It has slope-adjusted yardages, target lock vibration, magnetic cart mount, and a 6x magnification. But what really separates this rangefinder from the pack is Garmin's range relay feature. You can pair the Z30 with a Garmin golf watch or the Garmin app, and this device starts to talking to you. You shoot a flag with your rangefinder and the precise distance is shared back to your watch and tracked for the rest of the hole. It's kind of super slick and very useful. You also get front, middle, back distances in the rangefinder viewfinder, which is a real game changer for players who want exact pin yardage and want an idea of how much green they have to play with. Now the build quality is excellent. The Z30 feels solid and refined in your hand. The optics are sharp and the target lock is quick. Now it doesn't have Bushnell's signature red ring flash when you lock onto the pin, but it's still satisfying and reliable. Is the range relay worth it? Well, if you're already using a Garmin watch or planning to, 100%. If not, then playing the field with the other mid-price rangefinders get a little bit more even. But it's still one of the best rangefinders you can get for under $400. So if you're into Garmin, this is the one to get. Next up on my list is the Bushnell Tour Hybrid rangefinder. Now, this comes in about $500. Now we all know how tough it is to find a rangefinder that can go through the morning dew or bright afternoon sun. And the Tour Hybrid addresses this with its crystal clear display, which adjusts to any lighting condition, which is kind of cool. And it combines both laser accuracy with a built-in GPS mapping. So you're getting exact yardages to the pin while also seeing hazard distances of the same screen. So it's kind of like having a rangefinder and a Caddie all rolled into one. But let's be real, we all play courses with elevation changes that totally mess up with our club selection. And the Tour Hybrid Slope feature calculates the play-like distances. So that uphill 140 actually plays like a 155, and you're gonna know it. The genius part is the physical switch that completely disables the slope if you're in a tournament. Now when it's off, a visible indicator shows you're legal for competition, you're not gonna have to worry about getting DQ'd or someone narking on you. And it also has Bushnell's pin seeker technology that filters out the background objects, and when it locks onto the flag, you're gonna feel a vibration known as the jolt. And it even comes with a fast focus system that lets you dial in your clarity with just a quick twist of the knob. Now it does come with a 6x magnification, which is the sweet spot. Strong enough to see the flag clearly, but not so zoomed in that your shaky hands make it impossible to aim. And it even comes with the bite technology, allowing you to stick the rangefinder to the cart, and you're not gonna have to fumble it in your bag. So look, at around $400, the Tour Hybrid is not cheap, but think about it. You're getting two separate devices in one. You're getting a GPS and a rangefinder, which would cost more than requiring to have two products. So who's this rangefinder for? Well, it's perfect for golfers who are losing strokes from bad distance info or just club selection. This is definitely the one to get. All right, next up is the FlightScope i4. Now this comes in at about $500, and it's perfect for the data nerds out there. Now we all know that choosing the right club can make or break your shot. And the i4 doesn't just tell you how far away the flag is, it actually recommends which club you should use based on your swing data, current weather, and the environment around you. So there's no more standing there wondering if you should just grab your 7-iron or your 8-iron. Now here's how it works. The i4 has an AI-powered system that looks at your launch data and figures out your best club for each shot. So think of it like having a caddy who knows your game inside and out. Now the rangefinder adjusts to real-time weather. It checks local wind speed, humidity, altitude, and temperature. So it's cool if it's a humid 85-degree day, your recommendations will actually be different than if it was like a crisp 65-degree morning. Plus, it even comes with FlightScope's patented EO technology that can simulate conditions at any golf course worldwide. But let's say you don't have a launch monitor. Well, no problem. With a smart gapping tool, it actually lets you create a customized club report that shows you how far you hit each club. So it's kind of like building your own personal yardage book in the rangefinder. Now, more traditional rangefinders give you one number, the straight line distance to the target. But here's the thing, golf isn't played in a vacuum. The i4 calculates what's called effective playing distance, which tells you how far your shot will actually travel in the real world. And the way it works is a rangefinder pulls weather data from local stations so it knows exactly what's happening where you're playing at. And it even learns from your home course conditions too. So let's pretend you always play at 2,000 feet elevation. It actually will adjust when you visit a course that's at sea level. Now that's pretty sick. And yes, it also can handle slopes and hills too. And yes, it can handle slopes and hills too. Playing uphill, the i4 adds yardages. Downhill, it subtracts. You can toggle this feature on and off too with just one button, which is pretty handy since slope adjusted distances aren't always allowed in tournaments. And since it uses a USB rechargeable battery, one charge will actually last you through multiple rounds. All you have to do is just plug it in overnight, just like your phone. Now the i4 has the same features you would find in something like the $599 Pro X3. Here's the thing though, the i4 gives you nearly all the same tech and integration for about $100 less. Now that's $100. $100 is $100. Now sure, the Bushnell might have a few extra bells and whistles, but for the golfers out there who want to save a little bit of money and get many of the same features, the FlightScope i4 is the one to get. Okay, what if the best rangefinder really isn't a rangefinder? I'm talking about the Garmin Approach S70 golf watch. Now this comes in at $599 and it's one of my favorite golf products of all time. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this thing, and that it actually includes it in your shopping for a rangefinder. Now that's the question though that the S70 raised. If you never considered a golf watch instead of a laser, it might be the moment to rethink everything. Because what the S70 brings to the table isn't just slope adjusted distances. It brings a smarter, more holistic way to play and to live your life. Now you still get incredibly accurate GPS yardages, full color maps, and a virtual caddy that'll give you club recommendations based on your game. So it's kind of like a rangefinder that it knows you better than you know yourself. But the S70 doesn't stop when your round ends. It's also a full feature smartwatch with advanced health, sleep, stress, and fitness tracking. And it's got one of the most beautiful AMOLED displays you'll find on any watch that's out there. Yes, the S70 is a $600 to a $650 investment. But if you're someone who values advanced features both on and off the course, you really need to think about hard whether or not a golf watch may be better than getting a rangefinder. And if you're looking at that, then you need to check out the Garmin S70. Okay, next on my list is the best rangefinder for the price. I'm talking about the Bluetooth Series 4 Ultra rangefinder. You know that feeling when you're stuck between clubs because you can't figure out what the hill is going to add 10 yards or steal you 20? And this is where the Series 4 Ultra Slope technology comes in. It doesn't just tell you the elevation change, it actually calculates how it's going to affect your shot. So you hit the button once and you're going to see both the straight line distance and the play likes yardages. But what really sets this thing apart is how fast it figures out the yardages. You're getting accurate readings in under a second. Now here's where things get a little bit ridiculous, and I mean that in the best way. The Ultra's flag lock vibration is so strong, you think it's like celebrating what's in your hand. You point it anywhere near the flag and it buzzes. It locks on for up to 450 yards out. But here's the coolest part. It's smart enough to ignore that tree behind the green that your old rangefinder just loved to find. Now, the dual display shows both the flag distance and the background hazards at the same time, so you know exactly what trouble's waiting if you're gonna go long. The Series 4 also comes with an OLED display, which is super crisp to read, even in the brightest of sunlight. Now it has 6 different brightness levels. 6. Now this thing is also waterproof, so when you inevitably drop it in the puddle, reaching for your ball, it's gonna keep working like nothing's happened. Now you're probably gonna have to charge this thing maybe once a month because it's rated to 30,000 measurements per charge, which is just insane. Now that's entire golf season for most of us, and the USB-C charging is super clutch because you can use the same cable as your phone, so you're not out there hunting for some weird charger in your garage or some special charger they made for that brand. Now it also has an auto shut-off switch, so after 30 seconds it's gonna turn off, so you're not gonna worry about it draining the battery. Now at around $299, the Series 4 isn't the cheapest rangefinder on the market, but if you're serious about dropping strokes and you want a really good rangefinder for the price, then this is the one to check out. Okay, next on my list is the best customizable rangefinder. It's a FlightScope Pro X. Now this comes in at about 200 bucks. Not every golfer wants a rangefinder that looks like everyone else's, and that's where the Pro X starts to step in. This is one of the most customizable rangefinders on the market. You can swap out the side plates with pretty much any kind of design that doesn't have a licensing restriction. So if you have a company logo or your home course or something that you just like, you can get this logo right on your rangefinder, which is kind of cool if you don't like the idea of having the same exact look as everyone else. But beyond the style, this is just a really good rangefinder. It does the job extremely well, especially for the price. So if you're looking for a customizable rangefinder, this is the one to get. Okay, so where does this leave us? 10 rangefinders, well, one is technically a golf watch, but much more. All of them are solid, all of them on this list for a reason, but only one of them is the right pick for you. So are you looking for the absolute top tier performance and trusted numbers confidence, plus the cutting edge technology of a rangefinder? Then the Pro X3 is probably the one to get. Another device that matches it. But if you want next gen GPS integration without breaking the bank, then the Precision Pro Titan Elite may be your move. It's clean, it's fast, with the kind of smart features you're actually going to use. Now, if budget is a major factor, but you still want performance and style, then you might want to check out the FlightScope Pro X, especially because it's customizable. But if you want something a little more compact, you can go with the A1 Slope from Bushnell, which has all the same build quality that you're used to, but just stripped down and more streamlined. Or if you're Team Garmin, you have the Z30, which is kind of a no-brainer, especially if you're in their ecosystem. Or if you're the data nerd out there, the i4 is a wild card. It's $100 less than the X3, but with many of the same high-tech personalized shot recommendations, features, assuming you trust FlightScope to get their first rangefinder right. There is no doubt a lot of rangefinders out there. Most of them are just noise. The ones we covered here are the ones I'd actually trust. These are the ones I'd put in my bag, and hopefully now you've gotten the idea to find the one that's right for you too. Guys, thanks for watching. If you can do me a favor, can you like and comment down below? What rangefinder are you using? Would you prefer to use a watch over a rangefinder? Did I miss a rangefinder that I should add to my list? I would love to hear from you. And if you guys can do me a huge favor, can you subscribe to the channel? Because I love breaking down the gear that will actually help you save money. No hype, no BS, just the info that matters. But if you guys want to see the best golf watches of the year, then check out this video right here, and I'll see you out on the course.